Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Welcome to the Channel for Grace. Gobind will be live shortly. Book a tarot or astrology reading on our website, channelforgrace.guru, and check out our latest programs and classes. Please give us a share and a like, and we hope you enjoy the broadcast. Satnam, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Gobind, and this is your Channel for Grace. Thank you guys so much for being here live, and thank you to those of you that are watching the replay. Welcome to our weekly broadcast where we go over the astrology of the week and then pull cards, tarot and oracle cards, to send us a message, an intuitive message from the energy of this week and all of the transits that are happening. I want to say thank you to all of you guys that are watching here live, and thank you if you're watching the replay. If you are here live, say hi in the chats. I love the live interaction. Also, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and welcome to all the new subscribers. Hit the notification bell, get notified when I go live, when I upload videos. Give the videos that you watch a thumbs up. That always helps with the algorithm and sending the word out, getting more people to see this content. And also download my free moon astrology guide, which will tell you what your psychic gifts are based off of your moon sign. It enters you into my email list, and I send out a weekly moon magic report, and it goes out every Wednesday. So you get this weekly broadcast, and then you also get a written form of the broadcast of the Moon Magic Report on Wednesdays in your inbox, which is actually really nice to have. And I always get really awesome feedback about the Moon Magic Report. There's a lot of exciting things coming up. And before we dive into the astrology, I would like to invite you guys. A quick announcement is that the applications are now open for my June 2025 Sedona retreat. It is going to be happening from June 5th through the 8th. And I can't freaking wait. If you've never been to Sedona, oh my God, it's amazing. What I have is an application process, which is actually super simple. It's just a questionnaire that I'm asking everyone to fill out. Asking you questions about, what are your expectations of the retreat, and have you done retreats before? It's just really, really simple questions, but it'll help me to gauge how much interest there is in the event. And I will review the applications on a first come, first serve basis. And so Sedona is a very powerful spiritual center. And we're going to be doing amazing hikes. First of all, we're going to be doing some awesome activities when we go to these hikes. I'll be bringing my drum, and we'll be doing meditation. And so if you've never been to Sedona, or if you've ever been curious about coming to Sedona, this is the best way to experience it, with someone who can guide you, take you to different really awesome, cool spots and vortexes, amazing hikes, amazing views. And you're all submerged in this like beautiful frequency of, it's a sacred space. Honestly, it's amazing. So a little bit of what we explore is, we weave it around the astrology, the transits that are happening during the time that we're going to be together. We're going to experience shamanic drum journeys, sound healing, breath work, meditation. And a lot of it will happen at the actual hikes, at these beautiful magical places. Also, we're going to do a cacao ceremony at a special location, in nature, on the red rocks. So if you feel called to come and hang out with us, then please fill out the application. We are working on like other details, but if you just have interest, fill out the application. And I can't wait to send you guys more information about all of that. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I do want to say hi to everybody that's here in the chat. Hello, Mama Soul Tribe. Hello, Lori. Welcome in. Hello, Mary. Hello, Signe, is that how you say it, from Nepal. Sticks and Stones is here. Kamalola is here. Alessa, welcome in. She discovered me through Robert Grant, but just discovered that you have an amazing voice. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Alicia, good to see you here. Tina is here. Anya is here as well. So yes, I am very excited about all the stuff that's coming up. We like survived to the weekend. That was intense. That was really, really heavy. And, oh my God, I still feel the heaviness. I definitely feel like something has shifted very dramatically in the energy. I don't know if you guys are feeling that as well. And this is completely new. Like, we've never experienced these types of transits before in our lives. And there's so many happening this year, last year into this year, that it can definitely feel overwhelming, especially when you're not really sure what to do to process the information that's essentially coming to us. Hello, Bernadine. Welcome in. So, without further ado, let's actually hop into the astrology and look at some of the major transits and aspects that are happening for the week. And then I forgot to mention, if you do want to put in an application for the Sedona retreat, you can do so at the link in the description of this video. So this is the chart of right now, and today is March 31st. We did have Venus enter into her emergence phase, and she's basically the morning star now. She rises with the sun, and this is a 9-month period where we focus on all themes more closely connected to Earth, where we do deep healing here on Earth. It's like bringing it down to this Taurus frequency. Now, it's interesting because the ancient Mayans believed that the morning star was actually a time of war, and the evening star was a time of peace. So according to them, we've actually entered into a time of war. And the way that I interpret that is that there's deep changes, there's revolution, there's, things that we need to really integrate. And that can often feel like a battle, a battle with the self. But she's still retrograde as well. So it's very much an inner reflective period that we are still in, especially her and Mercury are both retrograde right now. So this is her official emergence as the morning star, but it's also going to bring us more closer to the physical manifestation of all of our desires and what we really want and the things that we value in general. That's what Venus represents in astrology. So the cool thing is that when we get, so she becomes, she emerges as the morning star, and then we get to the next day and she actually makes a conjunction to the north node. So she's like reminding us, this is the most important value right now. This is the most important thing right now. It's like all these like north node transits call us back to realign ourselves on the right path. And the right path with this north node Pisces energy is, it's a spiritual path, but it's a path of compassion. And it's also an emotional path. It's like we have to be okay with feeling. We have to be okay with expressing emotions. And there's what, we have to acknowledge, like, what is the most important thing right now in our lives? And we can all make that decision, individually. But I promise you that the most important thing that we're probably all tuning into is that, like a powerful understanding of like, how can we love each other more? And I'm not saying that in like a light and fluffy, like unicorn kind of way. I just mean, how can we understand each other more? With Neptune now in Aries, we're literally in a new world. And this new world guides us to step more into our own power. Like, this is a Mars-ruled time now. And Mars is the planet of drive and motivation. And in the Aries energy is all about taking action. And it's very ego-oriented, meaning you have to be okay with the fact that you like have an ego. So there's these like two dualities of like, yes, we need to find compassion and we need to connect collectively with each other and move from that place. And that's the direction that we should be moving towards, and not trying to be so focused on like the details of it. But at the same time, each of us individually has to find our own sense of self that will guide us forward to understand, like, where do I need to take action in my life? Where do I need to assert myself? Because you can get lost in the world of Pisces. But Venus is like, find your priorities, what's important. This is also near like Pegasus energy. And Pegasus is like trying to lift us up, trying to elevate the energy. But in a retrograde motion, it's much more about self-reflection and the internal contemplation of what is your value, what's the most important thing. So that's what Venus is calling us toward, to realign ourselves with this week. What's the most important thing? And then we get to a couple of days later, and the sun makes a conjunction to the Andromeda Stargate. Hello, Cheryl. Welcome in. And the Andromeda Stargate is all about the liberation of the soul. The sun will only really conjuncts to these Andromeda stars in Aries season. So that's why Aries season is like, yes, we're finding our like, we're grounding into our physical experience, which by nature has to think about itself first, has to put itself first, right? So we're learning the balance between, where do you go me first, and where do you go me being of service to the whole? Me first or everybody first? And like you're finding your way towards the middle. But all of it is a deep and powerful call to liberate ourselves. And that's what we feel very strongly this week. There's like a liberation, right? It's just so funny. Okay, then we get to April 4th, which is Friday. And we now see that Mercury, that is retrograde, makes a conjunction to the North Node. So Venus conjuncts the North Node, Mercury conjuncts the North Node, the sun hits Andromeda. Like, what are your values? Can you wrap your mind around the understanding of the values and then embody them in your physical expression of who you are? This is also a day where we will see Saturn at 24 degrees make a sextile to Uranus. and a trine to Mars. So there's kind of Mars, Saturn, Uranus, trines and sextiles going on there. And it is intuitive clarity coming through, because Mars in Cancer is about paying attention to the emotional realm, and how very much connected to human design, this is solar plexus energy, where if it's very important to pay attention to how you feel and let the feelings guide you to the clarity. But there's an aspect of this that you have to sit with it and let it like sink in, and let it come out of the deep reflection and deep contemplation, the answers to how am I going to step into this path? Can I find the clarity, and where do I like put my drive and my motivation and my determination? Like, where am I going to take this? And it can be unpredictable things showing up, but they will most likely have an exciting tone to it, because they are sextiles to Uranus. But this trine between Mars and Saturn brings in the determination and the devotion. And then Uranus activates that energy and says, okay, it's very important that you open yourself up to see and receive and experience the actual manifestation of the change in your life. You have to be open to it. You have to put your energy into it. So this is like we're getting used to the new energy, right? Because Neptune just entered Aries. So we're getting used to the energy. We're being called to realign ourselves with our destiny path. We're being asked, what are your values? Do you remember what's important to you? Can you wrap your mind around it? Can you express this energy, through your communication, but also stand firmly in who you are, and how what you bring to it is also very important. This is not about the collective in terms of like kumbaya. It's like I play a very important role, and that's why I need to know who I am, and I need to know myself, and I need to pay attention to everything that is a part of me, my feelings, wherever you have your authority in human design. This plays a big role. You have to pay attention to all those things, because that is what is going to guide you forward to help you figure out, okay, what action do I need to take to get to this goal that I'm feeling called to, and to really amplify the most important things for me in my life. And then we get to the 6th, which is Sunday, which is towards the end of the week. And the sun will make a sextile to Jupiter, essentially activating a Sun-Jupiter day, which opens up doors, brings in opportunities. Sun-Jupiter days are amazing for us to like set intentions, begin projects, get something started, get something going. So you can see there's a progression during this week, and it's a progression towards like making it happen, getting it started, aligning your action with your goals, like knowing what's important first, right? You need to figure out what you want first. You need to get clear about communicating it. Then you need to align, and allow the change that needs to happen. And then the door opens and the opportunity arrives. So I think it's like a really beautiful progression of like manifestation, the power of manifestation. On this day, we're also going to have Venus trine Mars. And so now it's like that alignment continues, but it finds its way to the values. So action is so important to create, to open up the door for the expression of the desire. So this is aligning our desire with action. And that's how we basically end the week. And it's not an exact, but it's a beautiful mystic rectangle with the nodes. And, Saturn continues to be there. So I feel like this is a positive energy. It's definitely a week where we can free ourselves to a certain degree and get clear about where we're going. Very clear. And then once that clarity arrives, take action to make it happen. Take action to like watch it, manifest it, basically. So it's like a manifestation week. It's kind of fun. I really like that. And so it's not too crazy of things going on, but it definitely will require you to like focus. There's a focus aspect, because the energy must be focused in order for the manifestation to be activated. And always, 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 when I say manifesting and when I talk about manifesting, I mean via your authority. So you always have to be making important decisions based off of your authority and your strategy in your human design. And the alignment is, okay, what is important to you? That's what we're figuring out. So once you know what's important, then you can realign yourself, then you can have the clarity, and then you can actually go for what you need. Whether it's like, whether you have to be invited or, that depends on your type and how you actually make decisions. That's the authority in your human design, but you want to be aware of those because you want to function within that energy. We can all manifest. It's just we have different modes of doing that. So it's always important to keep those things in mind. But this is 100%, I feel, a week where we're going to manifest and we're going to start to see some bigger changes, some more like concrete things shifting in our own personal lives, because this is a lot of the personal planets that are making these aspects to each other this week. And a deeper layer would be the liberating of ourselves, the liberating of our souls from anything that, ties us down to the old world. It's like you gotta cut those cords. Maybe call in Archangel Michael to help you do that. Okay, so now that we've covered the astrology, let's do a collective reading with the Tarot and Oracle to see what the message is for the week for us. So I'm going to open up the records and we'll dive into the reading. From the deep depths of the cosmic mind, I hear a whisper. This whisper calls us inwards towards our essence. A light begins to glimmer at the center of our heart. This is the light of unity, the all-knowing wisdom of the One. Through this door, we open the gates of the Akashic, the magical flower of life. We see our duality. We recognize our sacred trinity. We begin to witness infinite possibilities as we become the observer and the observed. A powerful and luminescent light engulfs our being, and we feel many dimensions all at once. We enter the Akashic records, protected and loved by all star beings that have accessed these portals before. The records are now open. May wisdom flow, may understanding descend, and may we be blessed with the light of love. All right, so let's take a look and see what the intuitive message is for us this week. How can we best kind of align ourselves into this energy so we can create what we desire? Let's shuffle the cards. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Hello, Cheryl. Hello, Florina, Venus, Rebecca. Good to see you guys. All right. What do we need to know this week? Ooh, starting with the 5 of Cups. All right, very interesting. So the Five of Cups is a card of dealing with grief. Hello, Raessa and Dawn. So yeah, I think this is like the lingering. This is very emotional energy. Obviously, like grief is emotional. It's a part of the heart space experience, and it's an emotional experience. And I feel like this is a lingering energy of what we have lost. There's 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 a moment to grieve, and there's a moment to like let go, and we never forget, but like the grieving process eventually subsides. And I think that right now we may find ourselves grieving for what we've lost. Hello, Shelley, welcome in. And also some of us may be at that point where we are ready to move beyond the grief, to finally like make some progress towards it. The next card we get, it's the Ace of Swords, which is about mental clarity. So interestingly enough, these two cards point towards the heart and the mind. And you can actually have, it's also emotional clarity, right? So what these cards are saying is like you have to find the emotional clarity. This is very much that Mars in Cancer is trying to teach us right now. So we have to find the emotional clarity. We have to finish or be okay with the emotions that show up, be okay with the grief, like we're letting go. And even though you may not feel sad, there is like a collective letting go. And a lot of people are experiencing like tons of emotion right now, including people with undefined solar plexus. So how do you make sense of that? It's like we're feeling the collective energy. That's how you do it. And so you just tune into your way of expressing it or feeling it, and then let that guide you towards some kind of clarity. But a new idea, we have to be open to new ideas this week. We have to be open to new thoughts. You have to have an open mind this week. And the openness comes out of the clarity that you find as you allow yourself to flow. 7 of Wands. Now, this is a very interesting energy. We've gotten this card before recently. What is this showing us? This is also collective energy. Like a lot of the collective energy feels like somehow we're having to like defend ourselves in certain ways, hold our ground. That is another big theme that's happening. So if we're feeling this energy, what is something that we can do to like relax a little bit? And we get the 2 of Cups, which is about working together. It's connecting heart to heart. So I think this is we're learning. So there's the balance between collaboration and holding down your own fort and your own like belief systems, but also knowing that like when you collaborate with others, it's like the energy becomes stronger, and you don't have to protect yourself as much. You don't have to hold your ground as much. There's like the moving through the grief, the releasing of the grief. It's okay. It's normal. It's emotional energy is super normal right now. Somehow we need to allow that emotion to take us to mental clarity and to recognize in the places where we still feel a little defensive, where we still feel like we need to protect ourselves, and soften into the heart space. So connecting to others via that like heart space. The 4 of Cups is also a card that we get today. So we need to make sure that we're not focusing on the wrong stuff, because this is the Jupiter. So if you get lost in the emotional wave, you have to allow yourself to feel emotions. But if you get lost, especially in the low end of the wave, sorry, the card is kind of hard to see. What's going to happen is you're going to miss the opportunity, And that cup that's being brought to us from the universe is that Sun Jupiter energy. But you have to be in clarity in order to see the opportunity and to allow it to grow. All right, let me do one more card. What is the deeper wisdom of from our ancestors for this week? It may feel like we're, fighting for something, and that's okay, but it's worth it. I'm getting that. Whatever we feel we need to fight for, it's worth it. Okay. Wisdom from the ancestors, the Devil card. So be fully aware of how addictions get in the way of you actually healing. There's an aspect of like forgiveness. We're being called to forgive. We're being called to have more heart-based conversations, trust and be courageous, connect to others and with an open heart. And that's what takes courage, to not block the magic, because we get so caught up in the defensive side, or we get caught up in the emotion to the point where we lose sight of any opportunities that might come our way. All of these things. And the way to this is how to manifest, right? Because this week, I mentioned before with the astrology, is a week of manifestation. And the manifestation is emotional. It's emotional manifestation, because we're getting a lot of cup cards here. We have to protect the heart is another thing I'm getting. We have to protect. So this is the value, right? This is what's important. This is what's valuable to us, but we have to protect it. So some of us are like the warriors, protecting it. So we get the gazelle. I love it. But when we also get the beaver, so 2 cards coming out together. Let's read about the wisdom of these. One of them it's fire and water, basically. Which is super interesting, right? And behind the gazelle is the sun. And the beaver looks like it's, surrounded by an energy of darkness, the night, the light, and the dark. All right, let's find the gazelle. Here it is. Heightened awareness and ability and vulnerability. The gazelle represents supreme grace. With every move, this awe-inspiring beauty emits sophistication and elegance. Gazelle personalities are often hyper-aware of their surroundings, bordering on hypervigilant, and this can inhibit them from enjoying the beauty they've spent so much effort cultivating. That's the South Node in Virgo, you guys. No more worrying about all those predators out there in the wild. When this card appears, it's time to get back to the present moment. Sit down, find your breath, and acknowledge the bounty that surrounds you. Let it nourish your great spirit. What a perfect message. What a perfect message. And the beaver. So I'm sensing that we need to get into this space of trust, right? The gazelle is like teaching us to trust. Trust. And as you do that, you will slowly be able to truly build. And it's this watery emotional space that we are actually building from. The beaver personality is a welcome sight. These good-natured and dependable creatures have infinite love and enthusiasm for family and express it by way of the earth element, providing a home and financial stability. So relax into the abundance and then get ready to work really hard to manifest it. I was talking about Mars and Saturn and Sun, Jupiter, and all of these energies are coming through in these cards. Although a beaver doesn't usually initiate a project, once started, they'll work steadily for weeks, months, or years to see it through. So the beaver is telling us it's going to take time to fully see the manifestation in our lives, but this week is the week where we start it. The beaver card appears when the task at hand requires your long-term, that's Saturn, steady effort. Mars trine Saturn. Wow. It can also signify that it's time for some karma yoga or selfless service. So this is about meaningful work, and this is about like relax into the abundance that's already here. Recognize the abundance. Like you are graceful, like move with grace through your creative flow to manifest and create all the things that you want. It's going to take time and it's going to take effort, but we are being supported by the planets to do that. So how fun and very resonating reading. There's definitely a lot of emotion. There's definitely a desire to understand. There's definitely the tendencies to get defensive. But the deeper value is the connection, heart-based connection with others. I kind of feel like this is Venus and Mercury converging with the North Node and the Caduceus and also the Lion. It's all about healing and balance. So this is what we truly value. And to get to this place, we need to stay focused. We can't lose track. We can't get lost. You know, in the details of the experience, you have to find your grace, and you have to get ready to put your focus and your determination and your ability to work hard for a long-term manifestation. Don't get stuck in the past. Allow the new ideas to come in. I love that. All right. From the deepest depths of our soul, we give gratitude and love, for we understand we are a fractal of that cosmic whole. As we give, so we get, open to all possibilities through all time and space. We walk through the Akashic portal back to our inner space, remembering that this wisdom lives within every cell of our being. Thank you, star beings, for holding this sacred space and for protecting us during this journey through time and space. The records are now closed. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Hopefully that reading resonated with you. I appreciate your presence and your support of this channel and this community. If you haven't yet, please join us in the global community. This is our private space, group space, where we get to connect with each other. I do live events and host all of my courses and all of my programs on this platform. But there's so much there that you can go back and watch. There's all these replays from past events that we've had. And yes, so we'd love to have you join us in that sacred space. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope you have a wonderful week. It'll be fun to see how this week unfolds. Stay aware, stay connected, find your center, know what is important for you, and remember to relax into the grace. Sat Nam. I will see you all again very soon.